You ever been the last soul on a bus that's not supposed to be running a year? Yeah, that was me. Route 84, out of the city, headed nowhere fast. It started like any other shitty Thursday night. I had stayed too long at a friend's place on the South End beer, leftover pizza, half-dead arguments about movies we didn't even like. When I realized the time, I bolted for the last outbound bus, the one that crawled through the industrial zones and faded suburbs, all the way to the Nowhereville where I rented a tiny, miserable apartment above a shutter. The city was already asleep when I got to the stop. Just me and a busted soda machine blinking its last breath. And then the bus hissed up like a beast out of fog lights flickering like a dying heartbeat, engine grumbling louder than it should. I got on. Driver barely looked at me. He was older, with skin the color of wet clay and tired eyes that didn't seem to focus on anything. But he nodded. I nodded back. Mutual agreement. The bus was almost empty. One guy in a hoodie asleep across two seats. A woman in nurse scrubs texting furiously with one hand and clenching her ellie, or so I thought. It wasn't until the third stop, an abandoned gas station with no lights, when she got on. Barefoot, pale as moonlight. White dress, white hair. Eyes, not white, though not blue. They were this weird, milky pink, like some old glass marbles I used to have. Albino, maybe, but there was something else. Something that made my skin shrink. She looked about 8 years old. The driver didn't blink, didn't ask her anything. She didn't pay, just walked straight down the aisle and sat across from me. Her feet swinging above the floor like she weighed nothing at all. "You shouldn't be here," she said. Her voice wasn't high-pitched or sweet. It was matter-of-fact, flat, like she was reading from a list. I blinked. "Excuse me, this route isn't safe anymore. 10 people have disappeared in the last 6 months. 4 of them were drivers." That's what she said. Not a joke. Not a creepy kid being weird for attention. She just looked at me and said it like she was talking about the weather. I smiled awkwardly. "You lost, kid." She shook her head. Her white hair moved like spider silk. "I'm where I need to be. It's you who doesn't know the rules." I wanted to ask her what she meant, but something in the way she sat too still, too silent, made me pause. The other passengers didn't even glance at her. The nurse was asleep now, head lolling against the window. The hoodie guy was gone. Just gone. "Wait," I whispered. "Where's the guy in the hoodie?" She turned her head, slow as molasses, and looked toward the back of the bus. "I told you," she said. 10 people have disappeared." Then the lights on the bus flickered. Once, twice, then died completely. We were swallowed in black. No engine, no AC, just the soft squeal of tires slowing down and the metallic creak of the bus gliding to a stop. I froze. "Is this normal?" She didn't answer. Instead, she leaned in slightly, almost conspiratorially. "It's after midnight," she whispered. "That means it can come on board now." I thought I was going to puke. I forced a laugh. "What?" "It, the monster under the bus." She didn't laugh. Her face was deadly serious. "If it boards from the rear," she said, "you cannot look, not even a glance. Doesn't matter what it says. Doesn't matter if it cries, or begs, or makes you hear things. You don't look. If you do, you'll be next." I tried to stand. My hands shook. "Okay, kid, I don't know what kind of game this is." And that's when I heard it. From the back, something stepped on board. Heavy, wet, slap, slap, slap. The kind of footsteps that sounded wrong, like joints bending the wrong way, like too many toes. Then it spoke, right behind me, inches from my neck. "Look at me." It was a voice like grave dirt, thick and cold and full of teeth. I gritted my teeth and shut my eyes. "Look at me." The girl's voice cut through my fear like a blade. "Do not turn around," she said. "Do not move." But the voice, it knew things. It said my name. It spoke in my dead brother's voice. It mimicked my mother, my best friend, my ex-girlfriend, all whispering, all crying, all behind me. My breath was ragged. I could feel my will cracking. Then something cold brushed the back of my neck. Long, wet fingers. I almost turned, almost. But the girl Anna grabbed my arm and squeezed, harder than a child should be able to. "She sees you," she whispered. "But you haven't seen her. That's what matters." The thing behind me started to scream. Not loud. Worse. Soft. High-pitched. Like it was melting while it shrieked. Then, suddenly, it was gone. The lights flickered back on. The bus engine coughed back to life. The driver was gone. Not passed out. Not dead. Just gone. In his seat now was a dark, wet smear. And something twitching. Long. Like a piece of hair. Or tendon. Anna stood up and walked to the front. "You'll drive now," she said. "I'll tell you what to do." "I'm not a driver," I said. My voice cracked like a teenager's. Anna stood in front of the wheel like she owned it. Small hands folded. Expression unreadable. "Tonight you are... I don't know how to... You do," she interrupted. "Or you will, if you want to live." I stared at the wheel. It looked impossibly big. The controls were all ancient. Scratched, full of buttons and knobs I didn't recognize. A faint smell of ozone and rot hung in the air, like someone had microwaved roadkill. I felt like I was dreaming, but the weight of everything, the stillness, the girl, the wet streak on the driver's seat told me otherwise. "What happened to the driver?" I asked. Anna turned her head slightly, almost like she didn't want to. He turned around. She didn't answer. That was the answer. Something behind me shifted. The nurse was still there, asleep or unconscious, but I realized with a creeping horror that her lips were moving, whispering something under her breath. Anna didn't look back. "She's not real anymore." "What?" She saw it. Didn't scream, didn't move, just looked. That's all it takes. I swallowed, mouth dry as ash. "So what do I do?" Anna climbed up into the stairwell next to the driver's seat, knees tucked under her chin like a porcelain doll. "You listen," she said. "You follow every word, and you do not improvise. Not ever." I slid into the seat. The wheel was sticky. The controls buzzed under my fingers. "Start it?" "I don't know how." "Start it." My hand moved on its own, like muscle memory I never had. Key, clutch, throttle. The engine grunted, choked, then roared to life. The whole bus trembled. "Good," she said. "Now drive. Stay under 30. Do not go over 40. And whatever happens, no mirrors." I looked up. The rearview mirror was already smeared with something dark. It looked like blood, but thicker. I reached for it. "Stop!" Her voice was sharp. "Take it off." "What?" "Rip it off the frame. That mirror is a door now. She can use it. She..." Anna's eyes met mine. The hollow woman. I stared. "That's what she is. One of them." She said, "She used to only ride the back. Now she uses glass, reflections, memory. She's learning." I didn't ask how Anna knew this. At this point, that question didn't feel important anymore. So I grabbed the mirror and pulled. It came loose with a sharp snap, the bracket tearing like paper. As soon as it did, the glass cracked down the middle. I dropped it to the floor, where it splintered and hissed. "Yes," hissed like a snake. Anna gave a small nod. "Better." I pulled out of the stop. The bus groaned and moaned like it hated being woken up. The road ahead was dark, more than usual, like the headlights weren't reaching beyond the fog that crept along the ground. "Where do I go?" I asked. "Stay on this road," Anna said. "You'll see a fork. When you do, take the right, not the left." "What's on the left?" "Her home," she said. "She always leaves it open, hopes someone will wander in." A few minutes passed in silence. My hands gripped the wheel tighter than I needed to. The hum of the engine was oddly soothing, until the bus lurched. Something heavy had landed on the roof. "Don't slow down," Anna said immediately. "Whatever you hear, whatever you feel, you keep driving." Under 40, something scraped above us. Long claws or nails dragging metal. I could hear it move slowly at first, then faster, circling, pacing. "She's looking for a weak one," Anna said. "Don't let her find you." I focused on the road, my heartbeat in my ears. Then I felt it, a shift in the air, a whisper not outside, but inside my skull. "Do you remember your father's face?" I almost cried. The voice was my dad's, dead 6 years. Gentle, sad, exactly the way he used to sound when he told me bedtime stories during storms. Anna's voice snapped me back. "She's cheating. She's trying to pull your thoughts into her shape." "What do I do?" "Fight it. Think of something else. Something stupid, something real." I thought about my second-grade hamster, Huey, who escaped his cage and lived behind the fridge for a week. I thought about the time I slipped on a banana peel in middle school. Yes, like in cartoons, and broke my wrist. I thought about warm beer, scratched DVDs, soggy fries. The whispering faded. The weight on the roof shifted one more time, then leapt off. Thud. Silence. Anna looked at me again. "You did well." The road stretched out ahead of us, lonely and wet and shimmering like it was made of oil. Up ahead, I saw the fork. Right or left? Left felt darker. Not just looked darker, felt darker. Like standing outside a door you knew you weren't supposed to open. I took the right. As I did, I heard a shriek from the shadows behind the trees. Thin, animalistic, frustrated. "She's angry," Anna whispered. "She wanted you." I didn't give her what she wanted. Anna didn't smile. She just blinked, slowly. "You haven't yet." I didn't respond. My palms were soaked with sweat. My thighs ached from tension. "Now," Anna said, "we go deeper. The worst is still waiting." The road after the fork didn't feel like any road I'd ever drive. It wasn't the way the pavement shimmered like something alive. It wasn't the sudden absence of stars, or how even the trees seemed to pull away from the edges. It was the feeling. The headlights reached only a few yards ahead before being swallowed by thick fog. The bus groaned under its own weight, and I could feel the steering wheel push back like it W me. Anna didn't say anything for a while. I risked a glance at her. She wasn't staring out the front window. She was watching the aisle, like she was expecting someone to come walking due. "Is there anyone else here?" I asked, trying to keep. She shook her head. "No one alive." That word alive hit me. I slowed a little. Instinct. Dawn. But if the road's empty, it's not empty, just quiet. For now, I didn't ask what she meant. The silence stretched. Heavy, dense, almost too thick to breathe. Then I saw the first one. A man, standing by the edge of the road, half in shadow, wearing a parka and jeans. His mouth was open, eyes wide. His skin was gray, not pale, not dead, just absent, like all the color had been sucked out. As we passed, I realized something even worse. He wasn't alone. There were more, every few yards, standing still, facing the road. Men, women, children, all gray, all silent. all watching. What the hell are they? I whispered. Anna finally looked forward. The ones who stayed where? Too long, in the wrong place, on the wrong night. They missed the rules, or broke them. And now they're, what? Statues. She shook her head. They're echoes. That's what she leaves behind when she's done. The ones who don't vanish get copied. I swallowed hard. My fingers curled tighter around the wheel. Do they move? I asked. Anna didn't answer. I checked the speedometer. 33. My stomach clenched too close to the limit. I tapped the brake just a little. 31. The road narrowed. The shoulder was disappearing, giving way to a soft drop into fog. The figures became more frequent now, closer to the road, almost leaning toward us. And then I swear I saw one of them blink. I hit the gas instinctively. Slow, Anna hissed. 30. 30. If you break the rhythm, she notices. I adjusted, teeth grinding. Sorry. I know, she said. That one blinked. It's not one of hers. What? Some of them aren't echoes. Some are bait. I didn't want to understand what that meant. But I kept driving. More figures. They weren't still anymore. A few turned their heads. I saw a child wave slowly, like underwater. I didn't wave back. You ever wonder why this bus runs so late? Anna asked suddenly. I blinked. What? There's no money in it. No ridership. No safety. 4 drivers missing in 6 months. In any other city, they'd shut it down. But they don't? Why not? Because she needs the door open. And someone's always willing to ignore the rules if it means keeping things quiet. I thought about the driver who picked me up. The dead look in his eyes. The way he didn't say a word when Anna boarded barefoot. Maybe he knew. Maybe he chose to keep driving. I hated that idea. Is that why you're here? I asked. To stop her. Anna didn't reply right away. I'm a king, she said finally. That's what she calls me. Not girl. Not child. Just king. And because I made the rule. What rule? The only one that works. Don't look. That's it. It hurts her. Limits her. So she fears it. But she also tests it over and over. I felt cold all over. How old are you? Anna. She didn't answer. I didn't ask again. The road began to curve, sharply, on both sides. The fog dropped away to black like cliffs into nothing. There were no lights now. The headlights bounced weakly off the curve. My knuckles were white. She'll try again soon, Anna whispered. She always does. Before the bend ends. Try what? To get you to look. I opened my mouth to respond. But then I felt it. The bus tilted. Just slightly. Something was climbing up the side again. I heard claws on glass. A scraping on the windshield from the inside. Then behind me, footsteps. I didn't dare check the mirrors. Anna stood. Do not look, she said. No matter what. The footsteps got closer. Down the aisle. Not running, tiptoeing. Slowly. Carefully. Then came the voice. Soft. Crooning. Sweetheart, it's me. It's Mom. My heart stopped. I hadn't heard her voice in years. She died in a fire. Smoked to death before the flames ever reached her. Don't listen, Anna hissed. But the voice. I'm proud of you, baby. So proud. I'm right here. A sob bubbled up in my chest. I bit it down. Then came the second voice. Deeper. Broken. Hey, bro. I made it. I got out. My brother. Dead 3 years. Suicide. He left a note that said nothing, but I'm tired. I shook my head. The footsteps were closer now, just behind my seat. Then fingers rested gently on my shoulder. She was touching me, but I didn't look. I just drove 30 miles per hour, tires on mist, sweat in my eyes. Anna stood in the stairwell again. watching the fog ahead. "She's fading," she said. "You're too strong tonight. She won't like that." The fingers slid off my shoulder. The voices stopped. And then just like that, silence again. "You passed the first trial," Anna said softly. "There's more." She nodded. "She has to test your memory, your grief, your trust, your fear. Each time, deeper. Each time, louder." I looked at the endless road ahead, vanishing into a tunnel of wet shadow, and I realized we weren't close to done. Not even close. There's something deeply wrong about silence that feels full. The kind of quiet where every second hums like a held breath. That was the space we were in now. After the voices stopped and the fingers left my shoulder, the bus didn't feel like mine anymore. It didn't even feel like Anna's. It felt borrowed, like something else had let us use it. For now, Anna sat again, this time closer to the back. She didn't speak, but her eyes were fixed on the floor, like she was tracking something I couldn't see. "I need to know," I said. My voice sounded foreign to me, hollow. "What is she?" "The Hollow Woman." I nodded. Anna didn't look up. "She used to be like you, like me. A writer, a survivor. That made my skin crawl. She was human. No one stays human in the dark too long. Some people bend, others break, and some..." She paused. "Some get hungry." The idea of that thing behind me whispering with my mother's voice, placing her hands on my shoulder. Once being someone who was just trying to get home on a night bus made me feel like my stomach was filled with needles. "She learned the rules," Anna said, "but instead of following them, she studied them, found cracks. Now she teaches them to others." "To who?" "To those who want power, or revenge, or just don't want to die. The ones who stare too long at the dark, thinking it might blink back." I didn't like where this was going. "And what are you?" "Then I broke the cycle," she said. "I didn't look. I didn't run. I stayed on the bus after it stopped. I saw what she was when she had no mask on. The chill went down my spine. And you survived that." "No," she said softly. "I changed." I didn't ask what she meant. The road stretched on like a wound that refused to close. Time didn't move right anymore. I glanced at the dashboard clock. 2:09 a.m. Then 2:03. Then 2:14. Then blank. I stopped looking. A soft knock echoed from behind the emergency door at the back of the bus. Just one knock. Then another. 3. Slow, spaced out knocks. My hands clenched the wheel. "Tell me that was nothing." Anna stood up. "No, it's worse than that." She started walking toward the back. "What are you doing?" "She's sending a test," Anna said. "Not a memory, not a voice. This one's real, and it wants to get in." The knocking stopped. Then it started again, but faster. I almost stopped the bus. "Don't," Anna said without turning. "Stopping makes you vulnerable." Then what the hell do I do? "Keep driving." She reached the back door, put her small hand on the latch but didn't open it. She pressed her ear to the metal. I saw her face twitch. Then she stepped back quickly, eyes wide, not afraid but alert, like someone had just stepped on her foot in the dark. "What?" I asked. She looked at me. "It's speaking." "Speaking how?" "Not in words." The knock stopped again, and that's when the emergency door breathed. I'm not exaggerating. The panel of the door expanded, then contracted, like lungs. Like something on the other side was pressing itself against the metal and breathing in our air. Anna backed away, moving up the aisle. "Okay," I said. "So what do I do now?" "You ignore it. It's breathing. Anna, you ignore it." The lights above us flickered. The bus hit a bump, except there was no bump. Just the sensation of the road dropping away for a moment and then slamming back. My stomach turned. Something thumped against the emergency door. Then again, harder. Then it spoke. From behind the door came a sound like wet wood snapping. Then, "Let me in. I'm still you." I could taste bile in the back of my throat. "What does that mean?" Anna's voice was cold. "She's not just in your head anymore." I shook my head. "This is all in my head." "Say that again," Anna said, walking toward me. "Say it out loud." "What?" "Say this is all in my head. Right now." I did, and the lights exploded. Not flickered, burst. Every bulb popped like a firecracker, raining tiny shards down on the aisle. The sound was deafening. The bus plunged into darkness, only the weak headlights ahead still showing anything at all. From the back came a slow, creaking groan. Anna was next to me now. "You see, she wants you to believe that, because then she's real and you're helpless." The steering wheel jerked. Something was pulling it. I fought back, gritting my teeth. "What now?" "She's testing your will. Don't let go." I gripped harder. The wheel twisted like it was alive, trying to veer us into the fog. My muscles screamed, but I held. Then the windows fogged up all at once. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in a breath, and on the window next to me, a handprint appeared. It pressed from the inside. Then another, and another. Hands, dozens of them, all sizes, crawling across the inside of the glass like insects. They left no smears, just frost. Anna didn't even blink. "Ignore it. You're still winning." "Winning what?" She smiled. Her attention. The hands faded. The wheel relaxed. And then, like a curtain being lifted, the headlights began to reach farther. The road ahead split again. 3 ways this time. No signs. Just black, darker black, and something glowing red in the center path. "She's giving you a choice," Anna said. "Which one's safe?" She didn't answer, because this time I had to choose on my own. The road ahead split like a jagged scar. 3 paths, each one worse than the last. The one on the left disappeared into fog so thick it looked solid, like driving into wet cotton. The one on the right twisted upward into a hill lined with silhouettes. I couldn't tell if they were trees or people or both. And the one in the center had light, a faint red glow, steady and slow, like something breathing behind thick glass. I stopped the bus, just for a second. Anna didn't stop me this time. She was standing now, by my side, looking ahead. Her eyes locked on the center path. "Which one leads out?" I asked. "They all lead somewhere," she said. "But only one gets you home, and the others..." She tilted her head slightly. "Somewhere worse." I stared at her. "Can't you just tell me?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked to the center of the aisle, planted her bare feet wide, and spread her arms out slightly like she was feeling for something in the air. "She wants you to choose," Anna whispered. "Because that's how she eats. Not just fear. Doubt. You hesitate. She feeds. You question yourself. She grows." I looked at the left path. The fog was moving now, sliding like liquid across the asphalt. And I swear I saw something swimming in it. Long, thin, writhing. The right path looked too still. Not silent. Still, like a photograph of a place that used to be alive. But the center path, it called to me, not with a voice, with memory. Red light, pulsing. I remembered something. A hospital room. My mom's face. After the oxygen mask came off. The color of the heart monitor at night. Beep, beep, beep. Then silence. The light in the center road pulsed at the same rhythm. I almost chose it. Almost. Until Anna said something that made my blood run cold. "She knows what grief you'll follow." I turned to her. "What?" She knows what pain you revisit most often. That's the path she'll build for you. A memory garden, full of traps. So, which one isn't hers? Anna reached into her coat where there had never been any pockets and pulled out something small, shiny, a matchbook. She held it out to me. "What the hell is this?" "Pick your path," she said, "then burn the other two." My mouth went dry. "You want me to set fire to the road?" "I want you to choose and mean it." The bus engine sputtered. A sound came from under the floor like breathing. Deep, angry breathing. Something underneath. Waking up. I took the matchbook. It was old. From a diner that didn't exist anymore. Roxy's Diner. Open late. With grease stains and handwriting on the flap. It said, "Only one door stays shut." I stepped outside the bus. The air was colder now, heavy with moisture. My shoes stuck slightly to the asphalt like the ground was trying to hold me there. Anna stood at the top of the steps, arms folded, watching me. I struck the first match. It flared to life with a hiss, burning hot and fast. I walked toward the left path. The fog hissed as I approached, curling back like it hated the flame. I dropped the match at the edge. Nothing. Then, slowly, the fog caught fire. It burned, not bright blue and low, like gas on a stove. The flame didn't spread naturally. It slithered, like it chose its direction. Within seconds, the left path was gone, just scorched black in silence. I walked to the right side next. The shapes along the hill moved. Not much, just enough. One turned its head toward me. It had no face, just skin stretched too tightly across bone. Another had arms too long for its body. Another blinked sideways. They didn't advance, but they watched. I struck the second match. My hand shook. It almost went out before I dropped it at the base of the right path. Fire bloomed upward. This one screamed. The shapes didn't move, didn't run, just burned silently. The flames were white, pure white. It hurt to look at them. I turned away, back toward the center. The red glow hadn't moved. It pulsed now in a steady rhythm, faster than before. Got back on the bus. Anna nodded once. "You made a choice. That's power. But was it the right one?" She didn't answer. Because maybe that didn't matter anymore. Maybe surviving meant claiming the path, not following the safest one. The bus lurched forward on its own. The road narrowed to a single lane again. The trees returned, but different now. They leaned toward the road. Some of them had eyes. Not glowing, not bright, just eyes. Human. Watching. None blinked. Anna sat behind me this time. "She knows where you're going now," she said. "Does that mean she'll stop?" "It means she'll stop playing." "Great." I adjusted my grip on the wheel. My knuckles ached. Then the windows began to vibrate. A low hum, almost musical. "She's singing," Anna whispered. The hum turned into something worse. Voices, not outside, inside. Whispers. Dozens of them under my skin. "You don't belong here. Let us in. Your bones, remember. We left something behind your eyes." My vision blurred. I slammed my palm into the dashboard. "Get out of my head." The voices scattered like roaches, but not before one of them said, "You'll beg to look before the end." I didn't respond. Anna leaned forward, whispering like a secret. "She's afraid now." "Of what?" "You're still you." The road narrowed again. It shouldn't have. Roads aren't supposed to do that. Not like this. Not in a way that made the metal of the bus groan and scream against the edges of the asphalt. Like the path was shrinking just to make room for us. And only us. We weren't driving anymore. We were being swallowed. Anna sat behind me, legs tucked up, humming softly to herself like a lullaby, or maybe like a war song. Her voice wasn't soothing, It was measured deliberate, the kind of song you'd sing when you needed your own heartbeat to remember what side you were on. You feel it, don't you? She asked, mid-note. I didn't need to ask what it was. It was the pressure in the air, the static crawling under my skin, the taste of copper in my mouth like I'd been biting a battery. She's closer now, Anna said. She'll try again soon. I swallowed. Try what? Exactly. Exit signs, she said. Like it was obvious. That's how she gets the clever ones. I blinked. What? She knows you won't turn around. Not after everything. So now she's going to offer you a way out. The second she said it, the headlights flickered and something green shone ahead in the fog. An exit sign. Exit. 1 mile. I hit the brakes without thinking. The bus bucked like a living thing, shuddering on the road. I didn't stop entirely, but I slowed hard. An exit meant the nightmare was over. An exit meant a gas station, a parking lot, real ground, noise, lights, home. Anna didn't scream. She didn't even move, but her voice hit like a gunshot. Don't! I kept my eyes on the road. The sign glowed brighter now. Green so saturated it hurt my eyes. I could feel heat radiating from it. The letters rippled, like they'd been painted on water. Another sign appeared. Half a mile later, exit, next right. This one had more detail. A name. Safe Haven Diner, open late. I slowed again. Something inside me begged for it. A booth, a cup of burnt coffee, fluorescent lights and a greasy menu and silence. But something else itched under my skin. Didn't your matchbook say something about that? I asked, voice low. Anna smiled. Only one door stays shut. She quoted, that diner's been closed for 34 years. I stared straight ahead. So that's not real. Oh, it's real, she whispered. It just doesn't belong to you. A fork appeared. One branch was the exit ramp slick, shiny, smooth. The other stayed narrow, cracked, lined with trees that bent over the road like they were listening. I gritted my teeth and stayed left. The bus whined like it didn't agree. The exit slid by on the right, green light pulsing like a dying star. As we passed, I looked, not turned, just glanced into the ramp. There were cars there, hundreds, all crashed, all empty. Smoke rose in thin columns from hood to hood. Some headlights were still blinking, some engines were running, but there were no people, just open doors. And every one of those open doors faced the forest. Anna didn't say I told you so. She didn't need to. I looked ahead. More signs now. Exit, 2 miles, real safety, no more games. We miss you. Then a big one, blinking, your name, in all caps. I didn't tell Anna. She already knew. She's trying to remind you who you were, she said. So she can strip it off you when you reach for it. She knows my name. She's in your bones, your memory. You fed her more than once tonight. That gives her shape, but not control. Not unless you give it. Another fork. No signs this time. Just instinct, left or right. The left was lined with things pretending to be telephone poles. I don't know how I knew they were wrong. I just knew. The right curved uphill, into mist. I turned right. The bus jerked in protest. Something fell from the roof, hit the windshield. A thud wet, solid. A face, human, pressed flat like a mask. No eyes, no mouth, just pale flesh stretched tight. It slid down the glass, leaving a trail of something dark and pulsing behind. I didn't stop. Anna clapped once soft, like a proud teacher. That was a good call. What was that? One of her mouths. She leaves them around when she's near. To watch, to taste. You're in her throat now. Fantastic. I gripped the wheel tighter. My arms ached. My fingers felt like they didn't belong to me anymore. Anna stood. "She'll try one last thing," she said. "Only one. For now." She walked to the middle of the bus, then stopped, tilted her head. "She's going to send someone you trust, someone you've never questioned, like..." And then I heard it. The back door creaked open, and someone stepped onto the bus. Footsteps, light, confident. Then I heard her voice. "Hey, baby, you okay?" My chest locked up. It was Rachel, my ex, the one that left me a year ago. The only one who ever saw me cry without flinching. She walked up the aisle like she belonged here. Same clothes she always wore. That old band hoodie, black jeans, her boots. She sat across from me, smiled. "You look like hell," she said. I didn't speak. Anna didn't move. Rachel leaned forward. "Come on, pull over. Let's talk. We don't have to do this anymore." I looked down at her hand. It was wrong. Too smooth, too clean, like it had been made from memory. Not flesh. "No," I said. Rachel's smile vanished. "You're sure?" "Yeah." Her eyes sank into her head like black marbles dropping in water. Her skin peeled sideways, and then she was gone. Just gone. Anna walked up beside me. "She really tried this time," I muttered. "She's getting hungry. Then I'll starve her." The road curved one last time, and ahead I saw lights, flickering. A station, an actual one, maybe, from a distance. It looked like Salvation, a gas station, old but intact. Fluorescent lights flickering under a rusted canopy. An open sign blinking red through the dirty window of the convenience store. A payphone bolted to the side, the cord swinging in the breeze that wasn't there. I didn't trust it. Neither did Anna. "You can stop," she said quietly. "But if you get off, the game changes." I thought you said stopping made us vulnerable. It still does. But she's trying something different now. Not just exits, invitations. The bus rattled as we slowed. Gravel crunched under the tires as I pulled into the lot. It looked normal, which somehow made it worse. There was a single car parked near the pumps. A black sedan, windows rolled up, engine still running, but no one inside. The second I put the bus in park, the lights inside the store flared bright, like someone flipped a switch. Anna didn't move from her seat. She's waiting. For what? For you to decide how much you still want to know. I looked at her. "You've known everything this whole time, haven't you?" She didn't smile. She didn't blink. "I've survived everything. That's different." I stood up. My legs were stiff, my knees cracked. The gas station doors opened on their own, slowly, quietly, no sound, just that faint smell of burnt plastic and old blood. I stepped off the bus. The air outside was wrong. It didn't move like air. It wrapped around me like something watching, waiting. Every breath felt like it cost something. I walked toward the store. The door frame buzzed as I crossed it, like an old security sensor reacting to something it couldn't name. Inside, the store looked perfectly preserved. Snacks, drinks, cigarettes behind the counter, a coffee pot still brewing something that had turned into tar. Then I saw the clerk. He was standing behind the register, perfectly still. His eyes were sewn shut, literally. Black thread, crude, thick, knotted like a child had done it with a shaking hand. His mouth hung open, and a name tag on his chest said, "Henry Night Shift." I didn't speak, didn't need to. The payphone outside began to ring. Once, twice. I turned toward it. "Don't pick it up," Anna said, suddenly right behind me. I nearly jumped. "Jesus, how did you..." I told you. This is her game now. She plays with space when you hesitate. The phone rang again, louder, angrier. I looked out the window. The bus was still there, but something was sitting in the driver's seat now. Something tall. I moved toward the door. Anna stepped in front of me. Not yet. What is that thing on my bus? She didn't answer. The payphone rang again. I grabbed it. The second I lifted the receiver, the world changed. The lights in the store died. The windows vanished. The floor cracked beneath me and gave way to something soft and warm and breathing. And the voice on the other end wasn't mine or Anna's. It was my dad's. "You're close," he said. "She's almost full, but she hasn't taken you yet." I closed my eyes. "You're not real," he chuckled. It was a sound I hadn't heard since I was 12. "No, but the pain is... You still carry it. She uses it." I opened my eyes. I was back in the store. Anna was watching me. The lights flickered overhead like nothing had happened. I dropped the phone. "I'm done playing her games." "You never were," Anna said. "She just makes it feel like you're making choices, like you have control. That's her trick. She never kills you. You do. By looking, by stopping, by hesitating." I walked to the counter. Henry didn't move, but I saw something written on the wall behind him, etched into the paint, carved by something sharp and angry. No mirrors, no names, no farewells. I stared at it. "Is this the rule?" I asked. "More of them." Anna stepped beside me. "These were the ones that came before you. Survivors, drivers, dreamers. They left what they could." "What about no names?" "What does that mean?" "She hears names like prayers. Every time you say your own, or someone says it for you, she gets more of you." I nodded slowly. I looked at the clerk again. "I knew a Henry," I said. Anna didn't flinch. "This is what's left when someone almost makes it." I didn't ask what happened to him. I already knew. I turned back to the bus. The thing in the driver's seat was gone. The door was open again. I stepped outside, onto the gravel, and there, painted in something dark across the side of the bus, was a sentence. "You've already looked once." My blood ran cold. I turned to Anna. I didn't, but she was already walking up the steps. She didn't look at me. "You better hope that's not true," she said, and vanished into the aisle. The sentence on the bus didn't fade. It pulsed. "You've already looked once." Like it was alive, like it was thinking about me. I climbed back into the bus, each step heavier than the last. Anna was already seated again. Same position, knees up, hands folded, head slightly tilted like she'd been waiting there all night. I didn't sit down right away. "Is it true?" I asked her. She didn't respond. "Anna, did I already look back there when I shouldn't have?" She blinked once, slowly. "If you're asking," she said, "you're not sure. And if you're not sure, she might be inside." I felt sick. I was careful. I swear, everyone swears, even the ones who scream when their reflection starts whispering. I slid into the driver's seat. The wheel was warm. The bus hummed under my hands, like a living thing that hated me just a little less than before. "She's lying," I said, trying to make me doubt myself. Anna stared out the window. "Maybe, or you're lying, this time." She smiled, and it was terrifying. Not because it was evil, but because it was so tired. "Do you remember when I told you I broke the cycle?" I nodded. "I didn't mean I escaped it. I meant I broke inside it." She turned her face toward me. For a moment, a second, I looked. Not a full turn, not even my whole head, just my eyes. And she saw me. I didn't ask what that meant. Not then. Because as we pulled away from the gas station, something was waiting in the road. A figure. Same height as me. Same clothes as me. Same everything. Standing perfectly still. In the center of the lane. Anna didn't say a word. I stared at the figure. My face. My build. My jacket. It was like looking at a photo of myself someone had animated and then emptied of soul. I slowed the bus. Anna said nothing. The headlights caught the copy's face, and that's when I saw the difference. The eyes were too wide, too eager, like they were watching me try to decide what I'd do, like they were enjoying it. What happens if I drive through it? I asked. Anna's reply came without pause. Depends. If it's a projection, it'll vanish, and if it's not, it'll try to climb inside. My foot hovered over the brake. This is another test, isn't it? Anna shook her head. No, this is her offering. She's tired of chasing. Now she wants to trade. Trade what? You for it. The copy raised its hand and waved. Not a greeting, a beckoning, like I was the one standing still. And it was offering to take my place. I tightened my grip on the wheel. Does it speak? Anna nodded. Only if you get close. It'll say things only you remember. Things no one else knows. Yes, and if I answer, you give it permission. I stepped on the gas. Not hard, just enough to move forward. The copy didn't move. It smiled. And then, very softly, I heard it speak. You're still dreaming. Wake up. I froze, because that was something, a phrase I used to whisper to myself after the accident, when I couldn't tell dreams from reality anymore. When I'd wake up screaming, trying to claw my way out of sleep. I looked over at Anna. She was already watching me. Don't, she said. I gunned the accelerator. The bus roared forward, tires squealing. The copy didn't flinch, didn't run, didn't blink, just smiled wider. And as we hit it, if you can even call it that, I saw something crawl out of its mouth. Something black, with fingers. It laughed. And then, it was gone. Not hit, not broken, just vanished. The bus rattled hard, but kept moving. Anna exhaled slowly. You didn't trade. That matters. I wasn't going to. I said, but I wasn't sure. Not really. Because that voice, it sounded like me. We drove in silence for a long time after that. No more tricks, no more signs, just the road until the trees ended and the road stopped pretending to be real. We came to a bridge, not a modern one, an old one, stone and iron. Slick with moss, crumbling at the edges like it had been here longer than time. No railings, no lights, nothing underneath it but fog that churned like boiling milk. And at the other end, a figure, tall, thin, draped in rags that moved without wind. Its arms hung too long, its head tilted back, like it was sniffing the air for something delicious. Is that her? I asked. Anna nodded once. She's waiting to see if you've broken yet. What happens if I cross? She might let you pass. And if she doesn't, Anna looked at me. And for the first time since I met her, I saw fear. She takes the inside first. The bridge stretched out ahead like something from a dream I wasn't supposed to remember. No rails, no signs, no lanes. Just ancient stone that creaked as the weight of the bus rolled onto it, and fog below that churned like it was alive. The figure at the other end never moved, just stood there, head tipped back, arms hanging too long at its sides, body wrapped in rags that breathed. That's the only word for it. They inhaled and exhaled slowly, rhythmically, as if the cloth itself was alive. Anna stayed seated now. Not rigid, not ready, just still. She's letting you come to her, she said. That's a bad sign. I thought she wanted to stop me. She does, Anna replied. But if she invites you to cross, it means she's already tasted part of you. She thinks you're close. My hands gripped the wheel harder. I didn't break the rule. No, Anna said, but you questioned whether you did. And sometimes, doubt is enough. The air inside the bus began to thin. It didn't make sense. The windows were intact. The vents weren't blowing anything, but every breath felt hollow, like I was inhaling memory instead of oxygen. As we reached the middle of the bridge, the bus slowed without me touching anything. The engine stuttered. Once, then again, then went dead. The lights inside flickered and failed. We sat in silence, dead center on the bridge. The fog below curled higher, licking the wheels. And then she moved. Not fast, not loud, just a tilt of the head. A slow, deliberate lift of one arm so long it reached the ground as she pointed it at me. Not the bus, not Anna, just me. I didn't get out. I didn't speak. I didn't move. But I heard her. No mouth, no voice, just words. Inside, driver. It wasn't a greeting. It was a title. Like it belonged to me now. Anna rose slowly. She's giving you the offer. What offer? The old one. Anna walked toward the door. I stood too. Wait, what do you mean, old? She turned to me. Every few decades, she needs a new anchor, a driver, someone to take the wheel after she feeds. I'm not part of this. I didn't sign up. You rode the bus, Anna said simply. That's the contract. I stared at her, heart pounding. You said I was surviving, and you still are, she said. But now you have to decide how. From the other end of the bridge, the hollow woman began to walk. Her limbs didn't move right. They bent wrong. Too many joints, too many angles. She didn't walk as much as fold her way forward, slipping across the stone like a spider made of shadows. I stepped back. She'll offer you relief, Anna said. She'll offer to stop the nightmares, the doubt. She'll promise a life you can't remember ever having, and memories you wish were true. Looked at the wheel. Is this what happened to the others? The drivers that disappeared? They didn't disappear, Anna said. They accepted. The bus shuddered. The fog began to glow red beneath us. Your choice, Anna said. You can finish the route, or you can get off and take her place. She wants me to drive. No, she wants you to ride, Anna whispered. She drives, you ride, forever. I stood in the aisle. Sweat dripped from my brow. The bridge moaned beneath the weight of things I couldn't see. She's almost here, I said. Anna nodded. Then why aren't you stopping her? Anna turned her head toward me. And that's when I understood. She wasn't here to save me. She wasn't my guardian. She was my replacement. You were the last driver, I whispered. Anna didn't answer, but she didn't deny it either. I never escaped, she said softly. I only delayed her, but tonight, someone else made it this far. And that means I can finally leave. No, you can't. I earned my out, she said. So now it's your turn. Drive or ride. The hollow woman reached the front of the bus. She didn't touch it. She didn't need to. The door hissed open on its own. The fog outside churned faster, red and black, burning and freezing at the same time. Anna stepped to the open stairwell. I left the rules behind for you, she said. Don't forget them. She stepped off. The fog swallowed her instantly. Gone. Just like that. And the hollow woman stopped, still outside, waiting for me. I turned to the wheel. It was warm again, buzzing, alive. A hum built under my feet, low at first, then louder. The bus wanted to move. It just needed a driver. I sat down, put both hands on the wheel. No mirrors, no names, no farewells. I breathed in. I felt her outside, pressing against the door like a memory I couldn't forget. Then I whispered, I'll finish the route. The engine started. The bridge shook, and the hollow woman screamed. She screamed like the sound wasn't meant for ears, not loud wide, like a doorway being forced open, or time itself bending in protest. The windows of the bus bowed inward. The glass didn't shatter, it rippled, like it had turned to water, and something just beneath the surface wanted in. I didn't look at her, didn't speak, didn't even breathe for a second. The engine growled beneath me, stronger now, like it recognized my hands, like it accepted me. That scared me more than anything. I drove off the bridge, onto a road that shouldn't have existed. The stone turned to gravel, the gravel to mud, then suddenly pavement again. Fresh, smooth, too perfect, like it had been built just for me. I glanced in the side window, caught my own reflection, only for a moment. But the version of me in the glass wasn't driving. He was staring at me, smiling, mouth open just a little too wide. I ripped the mirror off the frame, threw it to the floor. Good, came a voice from behind me. I nearly jumped. I thought I was alone, but there was a new passenger, a man, mid-40s, maybe. Suit jacket over a t-shirt, a fresh cut on his cheekbone, like he'd just crawled out of a wreck. He sat 3 rows back, alone. "You're early," he said. I stared at him in the rear view, then caught myself and looked away. Too late, too close. My hands trembled on the wheel. "Who are you?" I asked. "Same as you, a little ahead. That's all. You were on this route. I still am." He leaned forward in his seat, but his legs didn't move. He didn't walk, just folded forward. "You think you've made it, but you're not even halfway." I kept my eyes on the road. "Where's Anna?" I asked. "She's out. She earned it. And you?" The man tilted his head, still paying. "For what?" Looking twice. My blood turned to ice. "She tricked you." "No," he said. I tricked myself. Thought I could outsmart the route. Thought I could be clever. He smiled. "Turns out, clever doesn't beat honest. And you? I'm just trying to survive." "Then keep your eyes forward, hands on the wheel." Heart locked up tight. The lights above flickered. He was gone. No noise, no footsteps. Just empty seat again. The bus kept rolling. The road ahead was no longer straight. It twisted like intestines, tight curves, and narrow dips that made no physical sense. At one point, the bus tilted sideways, tires skimming the edge of a cliff I couldn't see the bottom of. But I didn't fall. Something wanted me to keep going. That was the scariest part. I wasn't being hunted anymore. I was being escorted. The hollow woman didn't scream again. She didn't need to. "Now," she whispered. Not in words, but in echoes. Every corner I turned, I heard pieces of voices I recognized. My father calling my name from another room. My best friend laughing. The sound tinny and old, like a cassette tape rewinding. My own voice sobbing, apologizing, begging. "Please don't go. Please don't leave me here." I'd said those words once, in a hospital hallway, when a nurse closed a curtain, when they zipped a bag. I blinked hard, focused on the road. But she was clever. She sent smells next. My childhood home. The shampoo my mother used. The smell of burnt toast from my first apartment. A whiff of rain on old concrete. My brother's funeral. Each memory tighter than the last. Closer to the bone. I clenched the wheel. The fog rolled back in, thicker than ever. I turned on the high beams. They didn't cut it, just lit up the mist like a glowing wall. And then shapes, dozens, maybe hundreds, all along the shoulder, watching. Some were me, some were people I remembered, some were things I might have seen once in dreams I forgot. One of them looked like my old dog, but with human teeth. None of them moved. Until one did. A small girl, no older than 6. She stepped out into the road. I hit the brake hard, but not enough to stop in time. We hit her. Or we should have, but there was no thud. No bump, just cold. Everything inside the bus went cold. Frost formed on the windows. My breath steamed in the air. The engine stalled again. The lights died, and I heard footsteps. Inside, behind me, deliberate, soft, then breathing, right behind my ear. You were doing so well. Her voice wasn't a voice. It was the sound of dust settling in a coffin. I didn't move, didn't breathe. My eyes locked forward. One hand reached over my shoulder. Long fingers, cracked nails. The hand stopped inches from my face. I felt her smile. "You can look now," she whispered. "You've earned it." I didn't move. The silence stretched. And then, from deep in the fog ahead, a light, flickering, warm, yellow. A sign. End of route. 3 miles. The bus rumbled back to life. Her hand retracted, and she was gone. Not defeated, not scared, just waiting. I exhaled and drove 3 miles. That's what the sign said. 3 miles to the end of the route. I didn't believe it for a second. Not because it wasn't possible, because it felt too easy, too final. I'd driven through screaming fog, watched copies of myself wave me down with hollow smiles, stared at faces pressed against glass that didn't exist. And now I was supposed to believe that the finish line was 3 miles away and waiting patiently. No, this was the part where she stopped hiding. The bus moved faster now, not because I pressed the gas it wanted to go, like it knew something was coming behind us. Something worse than her. Or maybe it was her, unmasked. The headlights ahead stretched too far, casting strange shadows on a road that never turned. The trees were gone. The cliffs were gone. The watchers, the copies, the passengers that weren't people all gone. Now it was just me, the wheel, and the road. And her, always her. She didn't speak anymore. She didn't need to. Her presence crawled inside my chest and sat there, heavy. Every heartbeat echoed with her breath. Every blink felt like her fingers brushing my eyelids. I checked the odometer. No miles passed. It just blinked the same number, over and over. Oh, ninth. 2, 9, 2, nice. She was stretching the distance, making the last 3 miles forever. Then the lights started to go out, not flicker, die, one by one. The bulbs above me shattered in slow, deliberate intervals, from the back of the bus to the front. With every one that went dark, I heard a soft click, like a door being unlatched, and something stepping through. I didn't turn, but I knew what I'd see if I did. Not her, not exactly. Something she made. For me, I kept my eyes on the road. The windshield began to crack, not from pressure, but from inside. Hairline fractures, branching like veins. Not random, not messy. They formed a pattern, a face, mine, smiling, crying, grinning too wide, too deep. I reached for the visor above me, yanked it down, and jammed it through the windshield. The cracks vanished. The road remained. Then, finally, a sound. A bell. Distant. Familiar. The kind of bell you only hear in dream memories. The one from old corner shops or the bodega down the street. A jingle that meant safety, light, cluttered aisles and dusty candy racks. But here, it meant something else. It meant she was changing tactics again. And then, the bus stopped on its own. Engine dead, headlights off. No fog now, just silence. And ahead a bench. A single bus stop sign, a shape sitting beneath it. No movement, no sound, but I knew who it was. I opened the doors, not because I wanted to, because I had to. She wanted me to get out. I stood, hands trembling, and stepped off the bus. The road was warm beneath my feet. That was wrong. There was no heat in this place. There had never been heat. But this was a memory road, a reconstruction of something I'd walked once. A final test. She waited at the bench. Still, her dress was the color of old snow. Her hair was black now, not white. Her face was turned away. But I knew. I stepped closer. She didn't move. Her hands rested in her lap like a broken doll. She looked like Anna, but younger, smaller. I sat beside her. I didn't look. I said. She didn't speak. But you made me question it. Still no answer. Why? She turned her head slowly, and she didn't smile. She cried. Tears that weren't water. Tears that sizzled on her cheeks like acid, leaving lines behind that glowed faintly red. I didn't want to be her, she whispered. And then I knew. This wasn't the hollow woman. It wasn't Anna. It was what was left of someone like us. A memory she couldn't delete. A soul she couldn't erase. You're the first one she couldn't consume, I said. She nodded. I held on too long. She whispered. Now I sit here, waiting for someone who can finish the route. I stood. The bus waited behind me. The engine rumbled again. She looked up at me one last time. She won't fight you like before. She's behind your eyes now. All she needs is for you to flinch. I nodded and left her there. A ghost of survival. The last turn was up ahead, and I didn't blink. Not even once. The last turn wasn't sharp. It was slow, like the road didn't want to surprise me anymore. Like it had finally grown quiet. Respectful almost. But I knew better. She wasn't giving up. She was watching, waiting, letting me think I had the wheel. The bus creaked as it leaned into the curve. The headlights stretched ahead, and finally I saw it. The last stop. It was exactly where it shouldn't be. A suburban cul-de-sac. My cul-de-sac. I recognized the sidewalk cracks. The leaning mailbox 3 houses down. Even the crooked tree stump near the streetlight. I used to trip over every morning as a kid. My house was waiting. Porch light on. Door cracked open. No sound. No wind. No color. Just memory. The real version had burned down 5 years ago. But here it was again. Perfect. Pristine. Stuck in the hour before everything went wrong. I parked the bus in the middle of the street. The engine didn't die this time. It purred. Low. Patient. Like it was holding its breath. The doors opened on their own. I didn't move. Not yet. Don't go in, came a voice. Not Anna's. The man again, the one from earlier. The almost driver. He sat 2 rows behind me now, one arm resting casually on the seat in front of him. I'm serious, he said. Whatever you think is waiting in there, it's not. It's the end of the line. No, he said. It's where she waits for the ones who pass all the other tests. It's her favorite part. I stared out the windshield. Looks like home. She wants it to. I stood. So what do I do? Stay on the bus forever? He leaned back, eyes heavy. That's the game. There's no clean exit, no finish line, just the choice. Move forward and forget yourself, or stay here and become something that waits for the next rider. I stepped down the aisle slowly. He didn't follow. I looked once, he said. Maybe twice. I'll never know for sure. That's what she takes certainty. You'll never remember if you slipped. You'll never know if you chose her or if she chose you. I stepped off the bus, onto the street. The warmth of the old pavement hit me like a memory I didn't ask for. Summer nights, bare feet, popsicles, fireworks, all fake, all hers. The porch light flickered as I approached. I heard a voice from inside the house. My mother, calling my name. Then my brother. Then Anna. Then the thing pretending to be Rachel. All of them, one after another. Come inside. They whispered. It's safe now. I stood at the edge of the porch. The door swung open, and there I was. Not a copy, not a ghost. Just Me, sitting at the kitchen table, head down, hands shaking, crying, saying something over and over. I stepped inside, and my ears popped. The world shifted, gravity tilted, and I finally heard what the other me was whispering. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. Then I looked up. His face was soaked, eyes red, nose bleeding, and then his mouth stretched too wide, too long, and she poured out, not walking, not crawling, unfolding, from my own mouth. Her limbs snapped into place like broken umbrellas popping open. She filled the room with shadow, with memory, with wrong. You made it, she said. I didn't answer. She stepped forward. Every step sounded like bones breaking. You drove well. Still, I said nothing. I offered you exits. Nothing. I gave you comfort. I looked her in the face. No features. Just folds of skin like curtains made of silence. And I whispered, "You don't get to follow me home." Her head tilted. "You are home." And I smiled, because that's when I knew this wasn't my home. It was hers. A decoy, a reward, a trap. I stepped back. 1 step, 2. She moved closer. I stepped onto the porch, onto the street. She stopped at the door. Can't leave it, I realized. Can't follow. Not unless invited. I walked backward to the bus. She screamed once. A low, long, mourning sound. And the house collapsed. Not in fire. In silence, like it was never real at all. Just a set, a memory made of cardboard and lies. I climbed back onto the bus, sat in the seat. The man was gone again. Anna wasn't there. Just me. The engine waited. I gripped the wheel. The dashboard blinked. Route complete. But below it, new driver confirmed. The doors closed. The headlights dimmed. The fog returned, and from far behind me, deep in the back of the bus, footsteps. A passenger. The next one. I didn't turn around. Even as the footsteps grew louder, even when I heard the soft rustle of fabric brushing seat backs, the subtle shift of weight with each careful step, the new passenger didn't speak. Not yet, but they were there just like I had been once. Alone. Lost. Late. The engine purred beneath my feet. The wheel felt different now. Heavier. More certain. Like it had accepted me. Or maybe I'd just stopped resisting. The bus eased forward on its own. Not fast. Not slow. Just steady. Like it had always known where to go next. I glanced at the dashboard. The screen no longer said, "Route complete." It now read, "New passenger. Status undecided." I didn't need to ask what that meant. They hadn't looked yet. Not fully. There was still a chance. I kept my eyes ahead. Mile markers passed. Blank and flickering. Outside, the world was darker than anything natural void dark. Like the bus was floating through memory itself. Scraping along the walls of someone else's regret. Then the voice came. From halfway back, soft, small. Hello. It was a woman, mid-20s. Maybe. I didn't turn to check. I didn't want to see who she reminded me of. That's how it started. Every time. Where is this bus going? I didn't answer, not with words. Instead, I flipped a small switch under the dashboard. The overhead speakers crackled to life, just like they had when Anna spoke to me that first night. A pre-recorded voice came through, the one I'd found on the console minutes after becoming the new driver. It was Anna's voice, calm, unapologetic. "You've boarded the final night route," she said. "There are no official stops, no scheduled destinations. This vehicle moves between roads that no longer exist, carrying those who've missed something too important to forget." The passenger behind me didn't speak for a while, but I heard her sit, then whisper, "I shouldn't be here." That part always came next. Then the bargaining. I just fell asleep. I missed my stop. That's all. And then the silence. The same silence I gave. The same silence that told me no one was coming to fix this. The bus curved right. Lights in the distance. Fake ones. A familiar diner. Same sign. Same lie. Roxy's open late. The passenger stirred behind me. I felt her lean into the aisle, peering forward. Wait, is that a place to stop? I flipped another switch. Anna's voice returned. No exits, no farewells. The only rule is survival. If you see her, do not look. If you hear her, do not listen. If you think of her, make yourself forget. If you feel her, do not move. And if she offers you anything, do not take it. The woman behind me didn't respond for a long time. Then, I don't understand. Who is she? The lights ahead shifted. The diner vanished. The road dropped into a downward spiral. Blacktop turning to gravel, turning to bone-white stone. And then we passed the watchers again. The still ones, eyes empty, skins too smooth. Mouths wide open like they were caught mid-scream but never finished. The passenger behind me started breathing heavier. Heard the shuffle of her getting up. No. This isn't right. This isn't real. She started moving up the aisle. I kept my hands on the wheel, eyes forward. Hey, she yelled. Hey, you, stop the damn bus. The lights above flickered. A voice joined hers. Not mine, not hers. Hers. The hollow woman. Behind us. Inside the new passenger's skin already. Tell me where we're going, she hissed. And then footsteps running up the aisle. Fast. Closer. I heard her just behind my seat. I could feel her breath now. Look at me. My grip on the wheel tightened. Look. And then... silence. Utter. Total. Perfect silence. I didn't look, but I felt it. She was gone. The passenger. The voice. All of it. One moment they were there. The next air. Not empty. Vacant. And in the rear view, which I didn't remember reinstalling, I saw a note taped across the top. I didn't read it. Didn't need to. I knew what it said. Same thing it always did. Not your turn to help, only to drive. The bus rolled on. 1 mile marker, then another, then none at all. The road would bend again soon. It always did. And when it did, someone else would be there, waiting, boarding, asking the same thing. Where is this bus going? And I'd give them the same silence, the same road, the same chance. Because that's what I was now. Not a survivor, not a passenger. A rule, a warning, a driver. The road ahead was made of silence. Not absence of sound silence as presence. It settled in my chest like smoke, like something thick enough to chew. The bus moved slower now, like it was being careful, like it remembered. Even the fog had changed. No longer swirling or alive, it stood still, waiting, like the calm before a very specific storm. I didn't check the passenger seats. I didn't look at the back. The dashboard read, no passengers. But that didn't mean I was alone, because she never left, not entirely. When you drive long enough, you learn to recognize where she is not with sight or sound, but something between, like feeling your name about to be spoken in another room, like a breath held behind your thoughts. And right now, she was behind me, watching, measuring. I didn't look, I whispered. A test, not for her, for myself. My voice didn't tremble. My hands stayed steady on the wheel. Good. The bus curved again. Gently, the road ahead dipped, then rose, like a heartbeat traced in blacktop. That's when the signs started again. But they weren't like before. No green exits, no diner ads, no lies. Just white boards nailed into the fog. handwritten, smudged with time and something darker. The first one read, "Rules exist because she doesn't." The second, "If you forget the rules, she remembers you." The third, "Some rules are not to follow, they're to contain." That one hit different. I gripped the wheel tighter. The overhead lights flickered. Not from power issues, but from proximity. Something was near again. Closer than breath, closer than skin. The fourth sign came fast, nailed to a bent speed limit post. No mirrors. Obvious. Familiar. But someone had scratched more into the wood beneath. But she has other ways now. That chilled me. I looked at the dashboard again. Still said, "No passengers." But the reflection in the windshield, there was a silhouette in it. 2 rows behind me, not moving, not breathing, just there, and not outside the glass. Inside it, I blinked. It blinked after, a beat too slow, a mimic, a mistake. The wheel jerked in my hands. The bus swerved. I slammed the brakes. The silhouette vanished. The fog parted for a moment, revealing a wide, clearing, flat blacktop ringed by crumbling lampposts, none of which had power. The bus coasted to a stop. The engine went silent. Lights off. Doors sealed. Like the bus knew we weren't supposed to be here. This wasn't a stop. It was a test. The clearing smelled like old metal and burnt paper. And in the center, standing perfectly still, was a person. Alive. I think. I couldn't make out the face at first. I opened the door, just to see. The air that hit me was wrong. Still air, unmoving, but heavy, charged, like the second before lightning hits. The figure stepped closer. Still no face. Then I realized why. It was wearing mine. My face. But not like the copy from earlier. This wasn't a trick. This was something worse. This was the version of me who looked. The one that broke the rule. His smile was small, earnest. Like he didn't know what he'd become. He stopped just short of the front steps. Didn't speak. Just raised one hand and held out a note. A small, folded piece of paper. I didn't move, didn't reach. But something inside me ached to know. He opened the note, read it out loud. His voice was mine, just hollow. New rule. The driver must doubt. The second he spoke the last word, the windshield cracked again. Hairline fractures. They didn't spread. They drew a symbol. Not one I recognized. Not language. Intention. Then his face peeled. Not violently, not with gore, just gently, like he was taking off a mask he'd worn too long. Underneath was her, smiling. Content. She whispered something I couldn't hear, but I felt it, behind my eyes, behind my memory. Let's change the rules together. I stepped back, closed the door, sat down, flipped every kill switch on the dashboard. The lights died. The engine, too. All of it. Darkness inside. Darkness outside. I whispered to myself again. I didn't look, but I didn't believe it this time. And that was the most dangerous thing I'd done all night. Because maybe she didn't need me to break the rule. Maybe she only needed me to wonder if I had. I sat in the dark. No engine, no lights, no movement. Just me and that terrible silence again. The kind that clung to the back of your teeth, like ash or static. And the longer I sat, the more I started to feel it. A hum in the floor, not from the machinery, not mechanical, molecular. Something beneath the bus, or inside it, like the bones of the frame were vibrating with something too deep to be heard. Doubt, that's what it fed on now. Not fear, not grief, not even memory. Just one crack in certainty, a hairline fracture in belief. And I'd given it to her. I hadn't meant to. But when that version of me, the one with my face and none of my soul, said the new rule out loud, Something shifted. In the air, in the road. In me, new rule. The driver must doubt. I tried to tell myself it wasn't real, but the bus believed it. The cabin groaned. The glass flexed, and the dashboard, once dark, lit up with a single blinking word. Conflict. I tried the ignition. Nothing. The keys were gone. I hadn't removed them. They'd just vanished. The rearview mirror was back. Not shattered, not crooked, polished. It showed the aisle perfectly. Row after row of empty seats. But I knew better. I looked away. But the mirror laughed. Not out loud, with presence. It knew what I was avoiding. It knew I wasn't alone. Footsteps began behind me. Not fast, measured, polite. Whoever or whatever was walking toward me wasn't rushing. They had time. They had all the time in the world. Each step closer made the bus colder. Not by temperature, by meaning. Like it was pulling heat out of memory itself. I clenched my jaw, stared straight ahead. Then a whisper, just behind me. "You shouldn't be here." I said nothing. "You weren't meant to last this long." Still nothing. Then, they're all watching now. Even the ones who made the rules. That part hit different. I turned. Not fully. Just enough to glance. No one was there. But every seat now had an impression. Not a person. Just weight. As if 100 people had just stood up seconds before. The air shimmered. The bus lights flashed back on, but they were red now. Emergency mode. Or maybe warning. The dashboard changed again. New text. Internal breach. Identity overlap. I whispered. "What the hell does that mean?" Then a voice in the speaker above my voice. "Driver error. Subject is no longer singular." The rear view flashed. My face. But not my eyes. They blinked slow. Too slow. Like they belonged to someone else. I stood up. The bus didn't like that. The floor dropped beneath me. Just an inch. A warning. I grabbed the rail above the seat. Held on. Because I could feel her in the mirror. Not a face. Not even a shape. Just a weight behind glass. A presence that leaned when I doubted. And I was doubting now. Not just the rules. Not just her. But me. My thoughts. My voice. My body. I had a memory too clear to be real. Driving the bus. But not alone. A hand on mine. Guiding. Correcting. Leading. Hers. Had she been there the whole time? Had she ever really left? The speaker crackled again. My voice again calmer this time. Slower. Accepting uncertainty is the first step toward unity. I stumbled backward. Hit the front doors. They didn't open. Wouldn't open. This was no longer a vehicle. It was a container. I wasn't the driver anymore. I was the cargo. The windows darkened. But not from fog. From her. She moved like mold on glass. Curling in from the edges. Pressing in. Filling every pane. The lights died again. Complete black. Then, a knock on the windshield. Slow. Heavy. Knuckle on glass. 3 times. Then a voice. It's time to let me in. But she didn't sound like me anymore. Or my mother. Or Anna. She sounded like all of them. At once. Layered. Overlapping. Like she was tired of pretending. I fell to my knees. And the mirror fell too. Not dropped. Thrown. It landed next to me. Face up. But no reflection. Only black. Then, slowly, a shape emerged in the mirror. Fingers reaching from the other side. My face formed behind them, and then spoke. "If you don't choose, I will." I looked away, but I was too late. Because in that moment, I wasn't sure anymore. I wasn't sure if I was the one still holding on, or the one already behind the glass. I was still on my knees when the mirror breathed. Not fog, not temperature, not metaphor. The glass actually inhaled. pulling in the air around it with a low, wet sound that made the fillings in my teeth ache. It fogged from the inside out, like whatever was behind it had lungs now. Mine, maybe. The fingers that pressed against the other side of the mirror weren't claws or bones or ghost things. They were mine. The same calluses, same crooked pinky from a childhood break, same scar from a bike crash when I was 10. They pushed gently, testing the surface, then curled like a hand about to knock, and that was when I heard it again. If you don't choose, I will. The voice didn't come from the mirror this time. It came from inside my own throat, like I'd inhaled something alive, and it had finally found the nerve endings to speak through. I tried to stand. The floor shifted beneath me again, subtle as a sigh. The lights above buzzed back to life, but they weren't red this time. They were white, surgical, cold, too clean. The kind of light you'd see before going under anesthesia, or in an interrogation room. The dashboard had changed again. Self not verified. And below that, mirror breach in progress. I reached up and grabbed the rail, pulling myself back into the seat. But the wheel was gone, not missing, just absorbed. The console had melted into a flat surface of gray metal. No buttons, no keys, no motion. The bus was driving itself, but the road was gone. Nothing ahead now. No line, no fog, no landscape, just black, pure, total black. I blinked. The black blinked back. I knew that now. It wasn't absence. It was her. She had stopped waiting outside. She was inside everything now. The air, the lights, my body. And maybe, just maybe she always had been. Maybe this had never been a rescue or a nightmare. Maybe this was her being born through me, through all of us who'd ever broken a rule. I looked at the mirror. The fingers were gone. Now there was just my face again, staring back, still calm. But it blinked before I did, twice, like it was rehearsing. Then it smiled. Not big, not monstrous, just satisfied, and mouthed something. No sound, just a movement I recognized. Let go. I looked away, closed my eyes. I remembered Anna, the rules. No mirrors, no names, no farewells. That last one had never made sense until now, because farewells mean closure, and closure means an end. She didn't want endings. She wanted loops, cycles, doors that never sealed shut, thoughts that never quite finished. Because that's how she stayed in. I reached down and grabbed the mirror. It didn't fight, not this time. It was warm, beating. I held it like a heart, and I spoke not to her, to myself. I didn't look. I never looked. I won't start now. The glass pulsed once, then again, and then cracked. A single line down the center, like a spine splitting. I squeezed harder. The mirror screamed. No sound, just feeling in every nerve ending, in every cavity, like pressure in your skull before a nosebleed, or that electric rush you feel seconds before a car crash. And then, shatter. It exploded in my hands. Not glass, not blood, something else. Memory, sound, possibility. Gone. The bus lurched forward, not fast, just certain, like I'd been forgiven. Or maybe I'd finally chosen. The lights dimmed to normal. The console reappeared. The wheel returned beneath my hands, and ahead, far ahead, a shape in the fog. A figure, standing at a stop. Just one. No signs. No sidewalk. Just space. The doors hissed open. She stepped aboard. Not the hollow woman. A girl. Young. Barefoot. White hair. Pink eyes. Anna. She didn't look different, but I did. She smiled as she walked up the aisle and sat where she always had third row. Window seat. You're still you, she said. I nodded. Her eyes didn't blink, but they softened. For now, she added. I put the bus in drive. We rolled on. No signs, no lies, just road. And the last rule echoing in my head like gospel. Doubt is the door, and I had finally shut it. The bus moved like it had a destination again. No swerves, no illusions, no screaming from the windows or hands reaching through the vents. Just pavement, just motion, just me. And Anna, she hadn't spoken since she boarded. She didn't need to. Her presence alone filled the aisle with a kind of tension. I couldn't explain equal parts comfort and fear. Like being around someone you trust completely, but know could end you if they wanted to. She wasn't watching the road. She was watching me. You've done well, she said finally. I didn't respond because I wasn't sure if I had survived. Yes, changed. Definitely. That one didn't have an answer yet. Anna tilted her head. Most drivers last 4 turns. 5. If they're lucky. How many have you seen? She looked out the window. Fog moved like slow breath across the glass. Too many. Not enough. Why are you here again? I asked. I thought you left. I did. And I came back. That's not how this works. It is now. That shut me up. The dashboard lit up. Route. Ending. Driver. Verified. Then a third line. Blinking slowly. She is listening. I didn't look at Anna. Is that about her? Anna nodded once. She heard the doubt break. She saw you repair it. That's new? New good or new bad? She didn't answer. Instead, she stood up, walked down the aisle, and stopped at the emergency exit in the back. She's going to try one more thing, Anna said without turning. Because she has to. Try what? To be you. Before I could ask what that meant, the lights above began to flicker. Not violently, but in a rhythm, like a code or a countdown. The fog outside pulled back, and I saw something I never expected to see again. My street, my real street, not the fake version, not a memory, not a trap. My street. Same trash cans tipped over from wind last week. Same crooked lamppost flickering above the corner. Same cat that always waited on the fence. I didn't trust it, but Anna walked to the front and looked at me. It's real this time, she said. That's impossible. You've earned it. No one earns it. That's the whole point. She smiled. You broke a rule backward. You created one that contained her instead of feeding her. I stared at her. What rule? Don't doubt the self. The bus slowed. The engine purred like a satisfied dog. The doors hissed open. But this time, there was no one waiting to board. Only air. Only exit. Anna stepped aside. This is your stop. I thought you said the driver never gets off. She nodded. They don't. Then she walked to the seat, sat in it, rested her hands on the wheel, and smiled. I stared. You're taking it back. I'm taking it forward. The fog thinned just enough to reveal the sidewalk. I stepped down. The asphalt under my feet was solid, warm. The air smelled like the city again. Far-off sirens, faint music through apartment walls, trash bins. Life. Real. I turned. Anna watched from the window. She didn't wave. Didn't speak. She didn't need to. The doors shut. The bus pulled away. No scream. No fog chasing it. No thing crawling behind. Just the red glow of taillights fading into early morning. I stood there for a long time, trying to believe it. Then I heard something from behind me. My phone. Buzzing. Still in my jacket pocket. I hadn't checked it once since that night began. I pulled it out. One notification from the transit app. Thank you for riding Route 84, last night's service. Your trip has been logged. You are not alone. I opened it. There was no route listed, no map, just a message. Keep your eyes forward. Someone else will need your story now. And then, for the first time since this all began, I walked home, feet on concrete, no whisper behind me, no shadow in my peripheral, just dawn, just quiet, just me, and the one rule that saved me when everything else tried to unmake who I was. Don't doubt the self.